The Caribbean looks calm on the surface, blue water, quiet islands, and peaceful skies. But beneath that calm, something dangerous is forming. While the world's attention is fixed on Ukraine, the Middle East, and the South China Sea, a silent military buildup is unfolding much closer to home. Venezuela is no longer just an economic crisis or a political problem. It has become a geopolitical pressure point, and powerful nations are paying close attention. This is not speculation, it is strategic positioning. History shows that when military forces begin to move and stay in place, decisions are already shaped behind closed doors. For the United States, Venezuela represents a convergence of threats. Energy security is one. Foreign military influence is another, and the expansion of criminal networks operating with near impunity adds a third layer of danger. Washington believes these elements are now combining into a single risk that can no longer be ignored. Across the Caribbean, facilities that once served Cold War operations are quietly being reactivated, airfields are extending runways, ports are increasing capacity, logistics hubs are being reinforced to handle fuel, ammunition, aircraft, and personnel. These changes are not meant for tourism or disaster relief. They are designed for sustained military operations. In modern warfare, bases are prepared before conflict begins, not after. If fighting breaks out, the first phase will not be fought on land. It will be decided at sea. U.S. Navy destroyers and cruisers would move to establish full control over the surrounding waters. Their mission would be to isolate Venezuela by cutting off maritime access, intercepting shipments, and denying any outside reinforcement. These warships are equipped with advanced radar systems and vertical launch missile cells capable of striking targets deep inland. Command centers, radar installations, and air defense sites could be hit from hundreds of kilometers away. At the same time, layered missile defense systems would protect the fleet from retaliation. This would not be a temporary blockade. It would be complete maritime dominance. Beneath the surface, nuclear-powered attack submarines would operate silently. Their presence would be invisible but decisive. These submarines gather intelligence, monitor communications, and position themselves for surprise strikes. A single submarine can neutralize multiple surface ships before an enemy even realizes it is under threat. This unseen pressure alone can paralyze an opposing navy. Air power would deliver the next shock. Long-range bombers would not rely on Caribbean bases. They would launch directly from the continental United States, firing cruise missiles from extreme distances and returning home without ever entering contested airspace. The attack would arrive with little warning, overwhelming defenses before a response could be organized. Supersonic bombers would follow, flying low and fast to destroy hardened military targets. Then stealth aircraft would penetrate deeper, hunting radar systems and surface-to-air missile batteries. Once air defenses are neutralized, control of the skies becomes absolute. Unmanned aircraft would ensure that control never fades. High-altitude drones would loiter over Venezuelan territory for extended periods, tracking vehicle movements, missile launchers, and command activity. The moment a target moves, it becomes vulnerable. Constant surveillance turns mobility into a liability. In modern warfare, being detected often means being destroyed. The presence of amphibious assault ships offshore raises the most serious question. These vessels are not deployed for show. They carry thousands of Marines trained for rapid expeditionary operations. Their role would not be a traditional occupation but precision action, securing airports, ports, communication hubs, and key infrastructure. Would allow further operations. While limiting prolonged engagement for Venezuela, the goal would not be victory in a conventional sense, it would be survival. The military understands it cannot match American technological or firepower advantages. Instead, it would rely on asymmetric strategies, large militia mobilizations, urban terrain, dense jungle cover, and irregular tactics would be used to slow advances and increase the cost of intervention. Criminal networks intertwined with state structures would complicate maritime interdiction and ground operations. Smuggling routes would double as supply lines. Civilian traffic would be used for concealment. Coastal waters would become contested zones where small, fast-moving threats replace traditional naval engagements. External actors would not remain passive. Russia and Iran would likely avoid direct confrontation but provide indirect support. Drones, surveillance systems, electronic warfare tools, and long-range strike capabilities could be transferred quietly. Low-cost weapons targeting fuel depots, logistics hubs, or airfields could significantly disrupt operations without triggering a broader war. This is the nature of modern proxy conflict. Influence is exerted without formal declarations, and pressure is applied through technology rather than massed armies. When bombers are placed on standby, ships are already in position, and forward bases are reactivated, history offers a clear lesson: wars rarely begin with announcements. They begin with preparation. Whether conflict erupts in weeks or months, one reality is undeniable. The Caribbean is no longer a quiet backwater. It is becoming a front line, and Venezuela stands at the center of a developing storm that could reshape Latin America for decades. The question is no longer whether something could happen. The question is how far it will go.